Hi, I'm Patrick with Electric Bike Report, and we're going to look at the FLX BabyMaker II in this review. This is a flat bar road bike with a very zippy personality. It comes in under $2,000 and is lighter than your typical e-bike, which contributes to its sporty personality. It maximizes a seemingly small motor and battery to make for a very efficient e-bike. Let's get to our testing and we'll take a look at why we like this bike so much. The FLX BabyMaker II is an e-bike modeled on flat bar road bikes, better known as fixies. They're typified by a single gear in the rear. This is a Class 3 e-bike with the personality of a racing bike. Now, FLX's edgy marketing aims this squarely at the fixie crowd, but because this is an e-bike, it casts a much broader net of appeal. For anyone, say, who's graduated from college, got married, maybe has a baby on the way. This is a terrifically fun bike and makes great use of a smaller than normal battery and motor. The FLX BabyMaker II is a great bike for commuters or anybody who wants to make every ride kind of thrilling. This features a 350 watt motor, a 360 watt hour battery, a Gates belt drivetrain, which will keep your hands and pants and everything else this bike ever touches clean, as well as terrific Magura hydraulic disc brakes, something that we often don't see on fixie-styled bikes. There's also an accessory package they call the Touring Package, available for a couple $100 that includes fenders, lights, a rear rack, a bottle cage, and even a mini tool. For the full specs on this bike, check out our description below that'll have a link back to our written review. At Electric Bike Report, we have a collection of tests that we do on every bike we review. First up is our brake test. In our brake test, we take the bike up to 20 miles per hour and then stop as quickly and safely as possible. We do this 3 times and then take those 3 distances and average them for a final result. Let's get into the data and see what it shows. The FLX BabyMaker II came in at 18 feet 1 inch in our brake test. It's equipped with Magura hydraulic disc brakes with 180 millimeter rotors. This is not something we typically see on fixies or bikes modeled after fixies. Very often they still have rim brakes. The fact that this was equipped with hydraulic disc brakes was really terrific. One of the other things we really enjoyed about this bike was the brakes don't have a cutoff switch. And so when trying to ride slowly, say through pedestrians, on a bike path, passing people with a stroller, that sort of thing, it's possible to ride with the brakes so that you can modulate your speed down below 10 miles per hour, but still have some e-assistance. Next up is our range test. We do 2 different range tests on every bike we review at Electric Bike Report. The first is a maximum assistance level to see just how far the battery will carry a bike. The second is a minimum assistance level where we're judging the lowest constant assistance that a rider receives. These 2 different tests give us our real-world results for what this bike is capable of. The FLX BabyMaker II proved to be a great performer. In our minimum assist, it reached 52 miles over 3 hours and 32 minutes for an average speed of 12.8 miles an hour. In our maximum assist test, it covered 22 miles in an hour and 23 minutes for an average speed of 15.5 miles an hour. Now, that's because it has a 360 watt hour Samsung battery that is integrated into the down tube. This was a very capable bike and made great use of what is really not a very big battery. The EBR circuit test is a 1 mile, 4 right-hand turn course with a 30-foot climb. We take each bike on it 6 different times, 1 for each pedal assist level and then 1 with no assistance whatsoever. The point here is to find out how the motor engages, how the acceleration is, how well it holds speed, and also what the bike handles like at each of the different speeds. So let's get on to those results. In our first pass, with no assistance, we got an average speed of 14.4 miles per hour. In PAS 1 and 2, we only got 14.5 mile per hour. Not much of an improvement, but it's better than you think. We'll circle back to that. Beyond that, we got consistent increases in speed with each of the different PAS levels. Practically speaking, in our experience, the motor topped out at about 22 miles per hour, unless you were going downhill. With the PAS 1 and 2, what we found was that even though they weren't particularly quick, they were great at helping you start off from a dead stop. Having some assistance to get the bike up to speed when the gear is this big is super helpful. On to cockpit and handling. Now this is a flat bar road bike. Road bikes typically have pretty quick handling. The presence of a flat bar on here gives riders a little more leverage, makes the bike a little easier to handle, calms it down, gives the rider more precise handling. It's a terrific feature. The grips on this are covered in a faux leather and have the little wings for the heel of your hand to keep you a little more comfortable. We had a mixed sort of feeling about the display on this bike. Some of our testers liked it just fine. I wear reading glasses and I had some trouble actually reading anything other than current speed on this display. It may have resulted in me running out of charge on a ride. One of the other things about this bike is that it includes a racing saddle. This is not especially padded. That's not a knock against it, but people expecting a very soft padded saddle could be surprised by this. Our recommendation is to buy actual bike shorts that include a pad in the seat of the shorts, putting the padding exactly where you need. This bike comes in 2 different frame sizes. That's a fact that we love. We love seeing bikes offered in multiple sizes because people come in multiple sizes. The challenge here is that while this is the large bike and fit very nicely our taller riders among our testers, me included, the smaller size, we're aware, has a 31-inch standover height, which means that a lot of more diminutive riders are going to have some issue trying to be comfortable on that bike. We suggest you take a close look at the sizing guidelines and take some personal measurements before ordering a bike if you're a shorter person. Now for our hill test. Hellhole is a 1/3 mile, 12% grade that we take all of our test bikes up. Now, the FLX BabyMaker II doesn't have a throttle, so we did 1 pass in PAS 5. The point of this test is to put the bikes under maximum strain on a hill just to see how powerful and how capable that motor is. And in this case, we're talking about a 350 watt motor. On to those test results. Our test rider went up Hellhole in 1 minute and 7 seconds. That's an average speed of 16 miles an hour. Pretty fast. To be fair, he went up it as most fixie riders would, which was out of the saddle, going pretty hard. I took another pass up it. This is not our official recorded time, but I just wanted to see what the experience would be like if I stayed seated and asked the bike to do most of the work for me. And honestly, I had some trouble getting up the hill. This is a bike though that really excels at lesser hills, slight grades. I didn't even feel it slow down on some of the lesser grades that I went up. All in all, it's a very solid performer. We were super impressed. All right, so what's the bottom line on the FLX BabyMaker II? We love that this takes the fixie style and updates it with e-bike performance. We also love the fact that the battery was hidden in the down tube, giving the bike an overall stealthy look. It doesn't scream e-bike. The Gates belt drive offers terrific performance, and also it leaves the rider free from getting dirty from the chain on their pants, their hands, whatever. The bike comes in under $2,000, which is a very competitive price point. And the brakes were something that we remarked upon because they didn't have a cutoff switch. Very often it can be difficult to manage a bike below about 10 miles per hour. And with this bike, we were able to brake slightly while continuing to pedal so that we got the assist, but we could manage the speed easily. If you enjoyed the review, please like it. If you haven't already, please subscribe. And for more details, there's a link in our description below this, and you can head to our website and read the full written review. Thanks for watching. I'm Patrick Brady with Electric Bike Report.